Hey everyone, this is episode 50 of Noodle Time. Welcome back. Here with me, I like to say, I said it last week, but I'll say it this week, is the Dog Soul King himself, OSG. How's it going, sir?
Another damn red card for Hustletown. Back to back for Dash red cards. So yeah, whatever. It was warranted. Whatever. Jeez, yeah. This was for this episode we've got the Wednesday friggin' massive dub at home against San Jose, but then for the weekend, just not much to be excited about at all across the board with the three teams. So Dash salvaged a tie. Everybody else lost. So, I mean, as you can probably feel in our voices, the emotion is right now kind of bugged. But hey, we're here to do it, so let's do it.
Yep.
I got my H's up still.
No, yeah, this Wednesday was the best part of the week for sure. And this past weekend, even though there's a lot to talk about, it's been kind of depressing, especially us coming out of the Austin game. We were there, we were feeling all the emotions, we were singing our hearts out, despite Austin FC banning the instruments for El Batallón to get into the game. Regardless, we were there. It was a 3-0 loss still, and yeah, just another road game for us, which we're gonna get into a little bit more when we get into the episode. And yeah, Dynamo too.
Yeah,
Uh,
let's backtrack to the good news. I thought that's what you were leading to right there, but
no, yeah, just giving like a little summary of like the week, but yeah, Dynamo two losing at home 2-1, and of course the Dash getting a scoreless draw despite having like a player disadvantage. But yeah, the lots to go through for this past week for sure.
well, let's do it. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to complain about, a lot to ask about. I posted a question on Twitter, got a few reactions. So they're not, some are questions, some are comments. So, I'll bring those up and I don't think Foxtrot has seen those reactions or questions yet. So it'll be fresh to his ears whenever we talk about it. So it should be a little interesting on the Dynamo side of things. And then, with Dose, just Jesus Christ, I've got some complaints to go there,
Yep.
and then Dash. I'm gonna repeat like we did how we did last week. Just lady and his tactics, coming into question again. So, but let's get into it, I guess.
No, yeah. We'll get into Dynamo. I guess that the best news of the week because they did come in on Wednesday and they got a pretty impressive 4-1 win over the San Jose Earthquakes. I was pretty nervous getting into this game because San Jose is, I like to say, one of the best teams in the Western Conference, and they've been pretty high up and actually like tied in between like fourth and fifth place with us right now. And I mean, I was surprised by the scoreline, especially the first 5 minutes of the game, because they will just go out of their way to score 2 goals in the first 5 minutes, and especially even within the first minute, like we got a goal, and I was like, wait, what's going on, yo? Like it's going nuts. Like I'm trying to watch the game, y'all, please.
Hell in the Shell, bro. Hell in the Shell. It's real. It's a real thing, bro. Hell in the Shell, and then Hell in the Shell. Except we didn't see no hell at the stadium, really. But uh, it was definitely a game that was. I made the trip. It was worth going to. It was an exciting game, like you said. The 2 goals in the first 5 minutes to start off the game just pumped us up and made things exciting. And Bossy with that little sneaky peek interception, but in San Jose's defender just being friggin' lazy passing that ball like that across the middle, and Bossy just kind of had a step. He wasn't flat footed, so he had a step, intercepts. Boom! I'm right behind that goal right there. And at first I was like, his touch was a little too much, and then somehow he poked it through the keeper somehow. So woo! Thank God with that keeper, and then your friggin' boy over there. That he's Bears, so who's going to mark him? Because he's Bears. But friggin' Quinones, I mean, first off, Bossy with the friggin' brilliant pass. And he knows, he's like, Quinones has got that speed. He puts that through ball to Quinones. Quinones, of course, beats the boo guy that we booed the entire game every time he touched the friggin' ball.
A
and
couple, yeah.
he just beats it. Yeah, a capo. Yeah, you said his name, not me. So he gets that. He uses that speed. He gets that cross off, and I'm not sure if Liu touched it. I think he kind of barely touched it, but it was just enough. It fell to friggin' Baird's feet, and Baird one timed it into the open net, and it was just friggin' exciting and just bro, we just went crazy. 2-0, 5 minutes in, 5 minutes in. But then the tactics changed almost pretty, almost pretty much immediately, where we kind of slowed down the game, and this, that allowed San Jose to push back against us. And you know, 2-0, 5-0, 2-0 in 5 minutes doesn't mean nothing, bro. Anybody can come back from that. And so, little weird that we kind of did that instead of keeping the gas on the pedal and the pedal on the gas and just going at them. But you know, when we saw the final score, when you got the final score, it all worked out in Houston's advantage, bro. I think, whew, whew. But what a first half, man! What a first half.
No, yeah, and after like the first 10 or 15 minutes of the first half, it just felt like San Jose were getting back into this game. Obviously, they will go ahead and score their first goal at the 41st minute, and but yeah, that first half, like outside of like the first 5 minutes, it was terrible. At least for Dynamo, because they they were slowly like conceding that possession for like San Jose, or like at least getting that opportunity for them to like get back into it, which they did. And it's like when it comes to the goal that we conceded, it goes into our theme for this year, and even getting into the game against Austin of set pieces, and that's like our biggest. It looks like our biggest weakness for sure, because we have to figure that out, because we look so lost when it comes to getting our markers together, or like figuring out who to mark, because at this point like it's costing us like that edge. And thankfully for the game against San Jose, it wasn't like that. But yeah, we like in the first half were we gave him that advantage, or at least we gave him an opportunity to like get back in front. And like thankfully it wasn't like that after the first half, but it was just warning to see.
And that goal for San Jose, that was actually a good goal. I mean, the way he took that free kick, it was just so low and precise. It was going straight to a San Jose defender, and the dude just flicked it over. And I don't think Clark saw it until it was already past him. He stuck his hand out, but it was like, oh, yeah. But it was a good goal. He was marked by Arthur. It's just one of those that was just a good ball in and a good little flick. So credit to them. Like you said, 4 minutes until half, which was you know gets us worried. San Jose gets that goal now. They're only a goal down. They're going into halftime. Adjustments are going to be made. Teams are coming out in the second half. Usually, it's a different story when two different halves. So it's like, man, what the heck, And then second half started. We come out and it was just kind of San Jose was pushing and we were parking the bus. And but I mean, we still pushed up forward a little bit. But one thing I did notice that Aliyu, man, or Aliyu, or I'll need to ask that man how to pronounce his name because I don't trust the announcers. Yeah, the way he's open all the time, not just open, but he's 1v1 all the time. So I was noticing in this game, because I was kind of complaining about Baird and the way he was defending when we were pressing. He would let that left winger, that left back, received the ball, and then he wouldn't pressure him. He just kind of stood his ground and just covered the passing lane. But on the opposite side, we were pressing the players. And then when we were attacking, Quinones was all the way on the sideline, like as far wide as you could be. That leaves a Leo in the middle. Yeah, Bossi and Hector Herrera roaming like double cams right there. And then Baird was pinched in as well. So you're distracting the center backs. The left back is occupied. Your CDM for the opponent is occupied, because it's just the middle was just kind of congested with all these players working together. And then when Quinones gets the ball, Aliu's just 1v1 because everybody else is marked up on somebody. And that's a big advantage. We asked for the attack to improve, and it's been improving. And you can see it when we execute. It looks great, and this game, everything looked great. Poor Liu, bro. Like, he keeps hitting the target. He just, or hits the target wide. He just can't put it in the net right now. And I'm thrilled and excited just to, once this man starts hitting that target with what the back of the net, what's he gonna do, bro? What's he gonna do? It's crazy how much difference he is. Of course, that's Achi in the middle. Bossy improving at playing that little cam position or that middle floating role. You really can't give him a position. He's just kind of floating all over the field right there and just making adjustments. And Baird, the super sub, or this time starting, make so it's the attack is getting better, and hence the four friggin' goals this time. So see if we can keep it up at home and just kill everybody that comes in. And what is it? 17 home games. We only got one loss. I think we had a couple ties. We went out the rest of the season, and that'll just be friggin' points galore. Figure it out on the road. But you know, I'm liking the difference that LEU is making.
No, yeah, it's only a matter of time until Aliyu finally gets his league goals, or like well, two or three like in the same game, because he's been showing that prowess, or like at least that potential of just being a deadly goal scorer wherever he is on the field. and and yeah, it's just only I'd say annoying at this point, because he's getting all these chances. He's either hitting the post or just hitting the mark, but he's getting there. And of course, the second half rolls in, and it looks pretty even up until the weather delay starts, which roughly takes about like 2 hours, which it definitely sucks, because you also mentioned that you went to that game, and and of course for you, like living in Austin, like having to like drive back to town like after, like I'd say midnight or something like that. It was terrible, I'd say.
Yeah, bro, and like that was my plan that day. So I went there early that day. So I went to the Astros at 1 o'clock, and then of course, Dynamo's at 7:30. Yeah, 7:30 that night. So I was like, oh, I'm not spending the night. I'm gonna drive back, leave about 9:45. I get out of downtown, and I'm home by midnight. Oh, damn, 2 hour and 15 minute. I think it was 2 hour and 10 minute delay to be exact. To friggin' just put a wrench in things, but and when the delay happened, we saw the storm coming. We were checking the radar, and we knew something was coming. We were hoping we could make it to 9:30 to the end of the game, and shit, that storm rolled in pretty fast. Lightning strikes, and everybody in the stadium saw that lightning strike. It didn't matter which way you were facing; it was just such a big strike. And so, they stopped the game. We go into the concourse, and then it just starts pouring. And I was debating, since the storm was big and it was just so much red. I was like, dude, what if I just go home? I think I can make it at home in time and then watch the end of the game when I get here, because that's how long the delay is going to be. But bro, it just started pouring like semi tornado, because it wasn't quite as much, but I heard wind gusts were getting pretty high, like the airport and all that. So I was like, man, bro, like it started pouring. The wind was blowing. We were not safe on the concourse, because I mean, not safe. What I meant by safe from the rain, I got soaking friggin' wet. But you know what? It did not matter, because El Bation brought the party. They put the instruments out, and just everybody on the north side of the stadium was just having a dandy old time for about 45 minutes into that rain delay, and just freaking going nuts. I'm sure everybody's seen the videos. MLS, we tweeted the videos, so everybody's seen the videos of us partying and having a good time. So that got me through half the delay. Then the other half of the delay, I was like, I just sit, my feet were hurting. I just find a place to sit down. There's really not a place to sit down, because you can't go in the stadium, and the concourse is just concrete. But I stuck it out. I was probably at first, I said about 200 people stayed, and maybe it was like 300, 350 people stayed through that delay. Now, of course, they let you leave if you wanted to leave, and then you could come back. So, like El Bation went back to Texas Tailgate and continued their drinking and their partying, and a bunch of other people just kind of stuck around the stadium or in the stadium and just relaxed and really just kind of was patient and waited. And then finally, they blew us back in, bro. And we get over there. The stadium's empty. There's about 300 people. How about the other shows right back up? They were kind of late coming back. Like someone needed to text them, say, "Hey, y'all show back up." But they showed back up, and they didn't go back up to their section because nobody was there, right? So they came down between Texian and between Surge for all the people that did remain, and they just sat in the middle, and they just kind of they brought the party back. We got live, and then friggin', as you said, lightning struck twice more.
No, yeah.
Golazo.
No, yeah, play resumed as the at the 61st minute, and then Thor was subbed in around the 74th. minute. I just wanted to make sure I got 74th.
Yeah, yeah.
Subs in on 74th, and he scores a brace. uh,
Boom.
no, yeah, that was incredible. Like the two goals that he would go on and score. I was shocked. No pun intended, but like yeah, just the matter that he can just like show up and just score those two goals to put the game away. It was great, and it just shows like how his ability to finish uh, from the past few games and up until now. Like he shows up at the right moment. It's his time now. Yeah.
See, looking straight at Ben Olsen too, looking straight at him, bro. Like the ego in Thor, bro. I love it at the same times, but Thor, Thor. We all know you deserve some more playing time, and Eliu's been great. So you don't bitch Eliu for Thor, but or there needs to be a more of a rotation. But Thor is right. He does need to get more. He does need to get more action on the field because we've seen what kind of dangerous striker he is, and we just need to find a way to get him on the field a little more often than not, and give him his opportunities. So good for Thor, and that was just a damn good win. And the game ended. It was 12 o'clock. I got out of downtown about 12:15. Went and got me something to eat. So with the food from Whataburger and the friggin' massive 4-1 dub, my drive home was fine. I made it home when I was in bed about 3 o'clock. I made it home at like 2:55. I guarantee you I was asleep by 3:01. That's how quick it was. I was ready to go to bed, but I made it. I didn't have no problems driving home, even though there was no traffic on the road. Had one dumbass that got pulled over for DUI, and he was getting arrested. Saw him in handcuffs. Saw his 40 on top of his car. So obviously he had it clear as day. Was still drinking, and this was probably 1:30 in the morning right then. So, like, bro, come on. But I digress. It was definitely a fun game. It was worth going to Houston that day, which I would have said it was worth going either way. Just the drive back would have sucked if we lost or came out with a draw. But Astros got a big win that day, 10-8, and then friggin' our Dynamo just killed it 4-1. So, dude, happy drive, happy life.
Oh yeah, I was kind of jealous, especially like it being the middle of the week. I wasn't able to go, but well, yeah, like I'm glad that you were able to not just survive the drive, like especially being that late, but also that thankfully we got that win because of you.
Yes, I guess you can say because of me, but because of the 300 that stuck around and just now. Granted, I'm not taking talking crap to the ones that did leave. I understand y'all had to leave. You had to work in the morning. It's a freaking Wednesday night. You don't know how long the delay is going to be. Someone got out of there before the storm even started. It's just no problem because you can go home and you can still watch the game, and no blames there for the people that did leave. But shout out to the people that did stick around. Abation coming back with they didn't have many entrants there that game, by the way, so it wasn't a full squad, but it was enough to make noise. And then especially, we come back and there's only 300 people in the stadium, and like it's now we're making a lot of noise. A lot of Texians stuck around, probably more than anybody out of the three groups. Surge, only a few of us stuck around, but we had a bunch of randoms with us that day as well in our section. So it was that was just a fun game. We partied, we had fun. I wasn't drinking, so it wasn't that kind of party, but it was when you're high on the team and the emotion, it was just it was worth it. It was fun, and but yeah but that was the win. I guess we got to get into our bad moods now and adjust the attitudes, huh?
Oh yeah,
But yeah, I guess before I do say that, you're right. That did put us into a tie for fourth place with San Jose, and we were up on goal differential. So technically, we're both got the same amount of points, but we got them because of goal differential now. So that was the advantage to that. Jumped into fourth place for the first time, and God knows how long it's been since we've been in fourth place in Houston. But boom, Arr.
no, yeah, just being in fourth place, like it just goes to show like how the team has improved. But of course, the weekend will roll in, and it just looked like another road game for us, unfortunately. But yeah, 3-0 loss at Austin. Unfortunately, we were there, we saw it, and we had to deal with it. But well, yeah, definitely lots to talk about. Lots of frustration. Just the fact that we've been coming off a pretty, I would say like a pretty good streak, especially coming off the road win against LAFC. It was time for us to at least put out a strong performance to get a result out of Austin, but unfortunately, it didn't turn out like that. And particularly for me, the main thing was just the fact that we showed up at least like in the first like within like the first 10 minutes, if I remember correctly. We looked pretty decent, but the thing that killed us for sure that game, it was just set pieces because they kept getting the ball in or like squaring inside the box, and we just like lose our markers and are the then we just end up scoring 3 goals of those set pieces, which I was just like extremely annoyed by that.
Dude, that's those set pieces. Now, prior to the set pieces and giving up those damn goals, Dynamo were just off. Period. I don't know what this road thing is that we can't just figure out. But no pass. There was no connectability. We couldn't make any passes. Austin was intercepting everything, and that's credit to Austin and their game plan, I guess. I think it's more credit to Houston that just don't know how to fucking play on the road. Excuse me, just can't play on the road. Like, I mean, every pass just was off target. Nothing well was happening. I mean, like you said at the beginning, there was a couple opportunities that we had to get in there and try to do. Nothing panned out, and it just looked bad. I mean, nobody had a good game for Houston that game. Nobody. Quinones probably had the best game of them all, and it was only a couple of rarities, and you wouldn't even give him a high grade on the performance. It was just a low ball performance. Austin gets that first goal. What was it? 20 minutes into the game, and just Jesus. I thought he was off, to tell you the truth. Of course, we don't get the replay right there in the stadium. They don't show us that, or they didn't show it. So it was hard. Or they didn't show us the line. So it was hard to tell if that dude was really off because the first one came in and it was flicked on to the guy on the back post and then he scored it. But I guess obviously he was on because they counted the goal. They did another one and then they did another one on us. And we're like, Jesus Christ, bro. Jesus. Like, embarrassing, but again, it's the road. We do what we do on the road. So typical.
No, yeah, but like the main thing I wanted to bring up is just the fact that this was the same starting 11 as the one from Wednesday, and
Yep.
I was annoyed by that because we just went ahead and beat like San Jose like 4-1, and I was expecting them to like have a strong result like to come off that, and they would just come out like on the road and just like not score any goals and just get like three score past them like offset pieces like pretty much the same way. And we've put out like strong defensive performances in the past like this season, and we just go out and just like do these kinds of mistakes like with a proper defense we can just address, like just being in constant communication or just trying to sort out who to mark who. I was expecting them to have that set out that performance, but instead, like they just put out the game away like way early. Like even in the second half, like they just go the third goal, and the game was like already put away. Like we like given that we will have like a couple like decent chances like to get it back on the board, like it was nothing still. Like it felt like it was like a really big mountain to climb.
Yeah, dude, no kidding. Big mountain to climb. And it's just, man. And about the lineup, yeah, we were expecting Baird to be on the bench and Saucedo to be in. Because it's on the road, we were going to defend a little bit more, but he went with the same lineup, which tells us that he was going to try to push some attack. So that was immediately questioned. We thought it would have been Saucedo for the bench, and then even people said, hey, Thor coming off his 2 goals, he's hot with that brace under 15 minutes. Maybe he deserves a start with the rotation, with an expected rotation coming in 3 days later or 4 days later, whatever it was. But going with the exact same lineup and now you don't have a game for a week because you have no midweek game this week. You expected some kind of change and we didn't get no change at all whatsoever friggin' ever. And and then you got the road moves again, so it's just Ben admitted it was his mistake for not rotating players. He should have rotated players. Of course, that's hindsight, but I mean, he's right. He should have rotated some players. I wouldn't rotate the entire squad. I'd rotate a couple players. I mentioned a couple right there just a second ago, but I mean, there's things you could have done. You're like, I don't know. But Ben learned his own lesson, so he's got some work to do, bro. He's got some work to do because we're going to Seattle on Saturday for a 9:30 match in Seattle. Granted, Seattle's not playing good right now. They just tied their game 0-0 at home, so they're showing that they're beatable or they're playable. But again, we're on the road. So we got a week to prepare. What's Ben gonna do? Can Ben figure it out? We're only missing Coco still. Nobody got hurt. Nobody hit the yellow card accumulation yet. So what's he gonna do this weekend? Seattle doesn't have a game on Wednesday either. They get the whole week to prepare and rest up at the same time. But man, I'll be on the back of my seat watching this game until they push me up to the edge and be like, "What? Yes, yeah." But I can only be optimistic, soccer guy.
No, yeah, and we definitely got like a lot of reactions after that game because uh, they've been pretty much like I think it like me like with okay we got like a 3 game winning streak, we have to perform well in Austin, and they just head out and do that like on the road. And I mean we've got like a lot of reactions from especially the post that you made, that to just like have like pretty much like an understanding of how we turn out. And I mean, there's just a lot to talk about because I particularly love this one from Texas Football Focus, just mentioning that perform an exorcism on our road demons. Is that a viable option?
Oh yeah, bro.
And I don't know how that will work, but I mean, at this point, we have to do something about that because like, it's a curse. Definitely a demon.
Maybe they do need to do a seance or something prior in the locker room prior to going out on the field or something. Whatever works, dude. Something different. I don't know who one of the most religious guys on the team is, but man, let the dude pray for us or something before the game. I don't know what works, bro. Maybe they're not religious and somebody's got a witcher's brew to make. Bring a pot and maybe some frog legs and some cat hair or something, and just conjure up something. I don't care. Something has got to change. Something needs to work, bro. It's like something needs to work. So I kind of scroll through some of these comments. Just to clarify for everybody, there was a post today, and I posted, we're playing remarkable at home while playing horrible on the road, and what can we do to be more competitive on the road? And I asked this question to the fans, wanted to get some reactions, and I got it kind of all over the place. There was quite a few different comments, so I'll kind of breeze through them pretty fast as we run out of Dynamo time, but that's okay. That's Dynamo talk right now. Sam Juarez, he says, I think we should focus in the progress. We're very awful everywhere. Now we are very, very, now we are very good at home. Next season, the horse should run into the deep playoffs. So, I mean, I don't know if you can agree. I think everybody's focused on the progress right now, and just like all the changes. We understand all the changes that we've been going through, and the benefit that's this is to the team. It's just what can we do to help the road, man? I don't know if you had a comment on that one.
That's pretty straightforward, but,
Rashawn,
but yeah, like it's what
yeah,
you just mentioned. Yeah.
Rashawn says, maybe it's just the road mentality that's getting into our heads. We're at home, we feel comfortable at home. That's where the home field advantage comes in. And on the road, we're just a completely different team, and then we're acting like we've never been on the road before. So road mentality, we need to have thicker skins. We can't, the referee affects sometimes. Can't let the referee affect. Blah blah blah. And then H Houston Patch or H Patch. I forget I have to go look, but he said rotate players. And we talked about that. Ben didn't rotate nobody, and it backfired, and it is what it is. So too bad, so sad. Another guy. I don't know if this makes too much of a difference because we're practicing in the middle of the heat during the day, but he he mentioned like if we play a 9:30 game on the road, why don't we practice late at night and like adjust to that time to what we're getting ready to play that weekend? Does it make a difference? And so again, rotate players. I don't know if you have a thought on that or if that could work or I don't even know what to do with that one. It's hard because you're not going to practice that late at night for the 4 hours or 3 hours they practice. I forget how long it is they do practice.
No, yeah, the practicing late at night is pretty unusual. They usually just practice like during the day, like usually around noon, like give or take. But yeah, like it's definitely interesting. Like obviously you try to like adapt to like some weather conditions depending on where you go, but at the same time, it's pretty unusual, especially when it comes to MLS.
Right, right. And I don't think it makes too much sense to do that. And then the players would just be mad anyways because that's their family time at night. But then Hunter, he made it. He did make a couple of good points. And the just and I think this is just because of the way we've been playing on the road. But use it to give minutes to the younger guys. Use it those are the rotate days. And let's see if we just get some more congeniality. I forget how to say that word real quick, but just to get it's give more players time. It gets you get them out there with some other players that are playing at home at the same time, and you do get to see what you can do more because it does seem like Ben is kind of starting to play his players, and then those guys are obviously going to be on the bench and they got to come in late. I.e. Franco, i.e. Sebas, you know. Bartlow's back on the bench and hadn't played for three or four games in a row now, I think. So it's crazy. So, you know, Bartlow would have been great to start this game in Austin, and gives maybe Mikhail back a rest. And I don't know what you could do there, but it sounds like a good idea, and I'm for it too, especially the way we're playing on the road. Until we can figure out how to play on the road, then maybe you can decide which game do I rotate, the home game or the away game. But right now, yeah, I would be down for using the road for experiments, and then just kicking butt at home. You know, I'm not even gonna reply to, or I'll reply to Alberto, but I'm not gonna bring his up because I'm tired of hearing that person's name, and it's just ridiculous for that. This man just loves that man and just wants to keep bringing him up, but he doesn't understand what he's talking about. Yes, Alberto, I just said you don't understand what you're talking about, so forget you, bro. And your constant. I'm gonna keep replying to you till we annoy each other. No, I'm just kidding. It's all in good fun, bro. Uh, and then I don't know. Another one says he just needs a player like Lozano to have them bring some offense to the road. And obviously, we have the offense at home, but we're just not translating on the road. It's just a different story, and of course, they're different tactics. So uh, another player could come in, could be the difference, but I think it's just we need to find that same ability that we're playing with at home, and then play with that same ability on the road. You know, but and then like you said, Texas football focus is an exorcism viable, which I think it is, bro. I think it is. I really do think it is. And that's I ran through all the comments. I don't know if you have anything you would like to add to any of those comments, or even on your own, as if I asked you the question, man. What can we do to change what's happening on the road?
Like honestly, just to consider to rotate players, or like even like not just the reserve players that don't get like a lot of minutes, but also like Dynamo two players that have like a contract with the first team. Like at this point, like it's just that we have to try something new because we go on the road and we have to, at least us as fans, we're just like, okay, there's definitely a good chance we're gonna lose this game, and there's only like a handful of those games that okay we get a pretty good result, and at this point like on the road we have to like get all the points we can because we can be like very great at home, but at the same time, the road points are gonna help us like get that like top seed or like a higher seed. Like if we want to like go to playoffs or at least have it be in a pretty good spot to like get those home games, or like it's gonna like what I'm trying to say is that it's gonna like on the long run it's gonna benefit us for sure, and like that curse like every single road game like even for like the past few years, and now like it's still a thing for us and we have to like change things around. So like that rotation, or like at least like having like that constant change of players like past like that starting lineup that we saw against San Jose, like at least for me it's pretty good, or at least like it looks very tempting. So it's something that we should consider on the long run because it's gonna help us.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, man. We just got to figure it out. Ben's got some things to think about. Like I said, is we got a week till Seattle at Seattle, so hopefully he can come up with a great plan. And it's a bonus that we don't have the Wednesday game, so maybe we can go in there and actually friggin' pull a fight off. And we lost to Seattle here, so we got to get that revenge back and beat them in their friggin' house because you know what they're going to bring in their home field advantage. So, uh, going to be crazy to see. But or sorry, not crazy to see, but interesting to see. Because what did they do? They tied tied Orlando City at home 0-0 this past weekend, or yeah, Sunday. And I don't even remember what they did before that. I think they didn't get trying to find them real quick. Can't find them, but oh well. So they're beatable though, bro. They're beatable is what I was trying to get to. Their schedule, let's see. So they tied 0-0, and then they went to LA, lost 1-0. Before that, they drew to Charlotte 3-3 in Charlotte. Before that, at home, they tied Portland 0-0. So their last two home games have been 0-0 draws. So that's four. All right, five in a row. The game before that at home to San Jose, they lost 1-0 in Seattle. So tells you they're beatable, bro. They're beatable. And before that, they only beat the Red Bulls at home 1-0. So it's great. And they lost to Austin 2-1 at home. So their home's not a fortress like ours is. So they're beatable. What can we do about it? It's going to be the big question. But I think that's all I got.
No, yeah, and they gotta show up for the game against Seattle, but yeah, like at this point, it's wait and see. But
Yeah.
but yeah,
And before you transition off to the next one, I just want to throw some information out there that not a lot of people know about, or some that are learning about. But the semifinal U.S. Open tickets are on sale for season ticket holders. If you're not a season ticket holder, don't go look at the ticket. It's a friggin' ridiculous price. But season ticket holders' prices are down, or like a normal price for Houston. Go out there and get them. Go out there and get them. But like I said, they're for season ticket holders. So don't yell at me when you go and you see $125 or $100 for a ticket. I got mine. I bought mine. I'm ready to go. I know what my price was. So maybe you'll just have to contact me if you're not a season ticket holder. But get your damn tickets to that game. It is a Wednesday night, August 23rd. So we do need to fill out as many seats as we can for that game. It is a semifinal against an up and coming Real Salt Lake. So, guys, go get them.
yeah, for sure. And I'll be getting mine as soon as they drop for the general public. But yeah,
I will help you out. I will help you out because they're $10 for Hustletown. Yes, sir.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't. You don't need to reach out to me. Since you're going to make the attempt to go to that game on a Wednesday, which means you better be taking your days off, and no plans better pop up like a birthday or marriage or your friends coming into town, or you got a dog shit. No, you're blacked out on your calendar, bro. You're blocked. You're busy. You're busy. But yeah, I'll get you for that. And any of my other buddies that listening to the show, you're not a season ticket holder, you like my help, let me know. Do it quick. Don't waste time.
but yeah. We'll stick it to the bad mojo, especially when it comes to Dynamo 2 and Dash, because for Dynamo 2, I was expecting better things because they had a lot of starters for the first team, and they still managed to lose 2-1 at home against San Jose Earthquakes 2. And there's I'm just disappointed because Tarble started, Chase Gasper started, Brad Smith started, also Brooklyn Rain started, and like this is like a pretty good team because not just that, but like also obviously Diego Gonzalez, like Casilla, everyone came in, and they just got shut out like the second half. Like they will score a goal sure in the first half, but like in the second half, it was nothing, and I was so upset.
They were San Jose was better the whole game. Better the whole game. And like you said, Tarble got in the goal. No complaints there. Gasper and Smith both getting the starts. So it kind of, opened my eyes up there for a little bit when I saw the lineup. I was like, okay. And when they lined up, it was Brad Smith on the outside, Gasper as the left center back, Maples Talon Maples, which reminds me I need to ask his friggin' mother how do we pronounce his name? So I quit butchering it because I hear Talon, I hear Talon, but no one that can ever friggin' confirm. I don't remember to listen to Glenn Davis, but that doesn't mean Glenn Davis knows it for sure. I'm sure he's probably the best one, but you know, when uh, you know somebody that's right there, just go straight to the source, the person that named him. How do you pronounce your son's name? So I quit butchering it on the dang show, but Talon was in there. Juarez was on the right, and immediately once the game started, I don't know what Gasper's tactics were, his how he was told to play. That back line was just in crumbles. Looked horrible. They were never in sync together. The left side was just battered and beat up. Brad Smith and Chase Gasper looked horrible playing defense. Granted, Brad Smith come back and scores the only goal for Houston. Good goal, but that's what you're supposed to do when you're pushing forward and attacking. But as defenders, bro, we look so friggin' bad. Like the midfielders are dropping into that back center defense, and I'm sure Mr. Maples was just annoyed. Annoyed. I'm sure he was okay with those two starting at first. Like, okay, I got some first team players coming in and playing with me. It just should be good. But then it just was horrible, and I'm sure there was no connectability between the back four. And it was just I was getting annoyed with it every time Gasper was like, where is Gasper? And then like you look back and he's jogging back from high midfield. And like, bro, you're the center back. You're the center back. That's why I question. I don't know what tactics he was told and given to do, but it's just ridiculous. That first goal, he's caught flat-footed, and the ball's played through. Brad Smith is chasing down. They get the cross off, and it's an easy friggin' goal. Luckily, we came back and got that other one, and then of course San Jose puts in the second one a little bit later, and so the lineup was great minus those two right there that just kind of just threw off the entire back line and just made it a long day for Dynamo Dos. And granted, Dos still needs to score because they had the players, they had the potential to get those goals in, and they just couldn't do it. And Brooklyn Reigns he drilled the post. I think we hit the post again later. So had a couple opportunities, but nothing like that we were expecting to Dos to play better at home and to beat this San Jose team, which was a little dwindled because they had players come up and play for the first team who did not play in this game, and then they had players that were because they were in the U17 MLS Next playoffs. So they had some players that had to go play for that. Not had to go. They went to go play for that team to help them out. So they were shorthanded, bro. Like, come on, this was a game that we should have won. And what did we do? Crap the brick. Crap the brick.
No, yeah, I was very upset about this one because of pretty much everything that you just mentioned, and yeah, I just expected better overall, and especially at home. Like it's just upsetting.
Super upsetting. And now I'd never want to see Gasper play for us again. Dude, it was so friggin' annoying. He's slower than a 5-year old at the same time. There was one ball that was played through and he was chasing his defender. Mr. Maples had to come over and intervene, which luckily they're quick enough to get there and do it. But Jesus, Gasper, bro, like I don't know, man. Like you haven't done nothing for this team so far this season, and uh, I don't know what the idea was with Ben, just get him minutes or whatever, or if he wanted to see if they have, or he just wanted to see them play. But I hope he saw them play because I wouldn't be using at least Gasper again. Smith, whatever, he did okay. Besides, he needs to work on his defense, but yeah, I don't know, man. They looked bad. They looked bad. They looked
Well, yeah, and with that, I want to start talking about Dharma too because of those reasons. But I guess
bad.
depending on how you want to look at it, we can talk about the dash because it could be either good or bad because they did get a scoreless draw in against Angel City, and even though it was on the road, even though they they had like 10 players for roughly 30 minutes,
30,
over 4 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah, 30, 31 minutes.
yeah,
58 was the red card.
gotcha. Yeah, they've been shorthanded, and they definitely got that point on the road, which is pretty important, especially when for the drop points at home. Depending how you want to look at it, like it's just interesting that how the situation turned out for them because I was watching it and yeah, they get it, they got a lot of opportunities. Obviously, a pro played at hand here, and it was just funny.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We're getting used to it, and I mean, whatever. I guess it was a red card. I mean, if I was the ref, and my first reaction when it happened is, "Here we go." And then he threw a yellow out, and I was like, "Okay, yes." But me, I'm smart. I knew VAR is going to step in. VAR stepped in. He went over. He looked at it for like 10 seconds, and then he's like, "Yeah, this is an easy call." And he changed it to a friggin' red. And it is what it is. But my girl Price Sock finally got to get a start back in the lineup. Now I know it's because Jacobs got the red card. I'm hoping it's not because Jacobs got the red card, but Price Sock deserves to be Katie Lynn's partner because I think that's a dynamic duo right there. Those two should be center backs. And it could be because friggin' ladies trying to do this 3-4-3 still, which I don't think is working at all. We need to go back to our typical back four with and he did start off with three and then he made a quick adjustment like 10 minutes into the game and go back to a back four. But you had Peterson on the left, Price Sock and Lind, and then of course Miss Didasco, who is just a friggin' stud, dude. Like just everything she's doing on both sides of the ball, and it's just friggin' incredible. And so there's your back four. Sophie Smith started at center back to start the game, which like but you didn't put Viciano in the game. You went with your Hurst and uh, Anderson, and then who was the other one? Oh yeah, it was because his Didasco pushed up. No, there was still another one, but it,
It was
man,
Hurst.
Hurst, Anderson. Oh yeah, and Peterson I think was starting up there in the midfield too until she got pulled back, but. I forget who the Maria was up top. Ordonez was up top, and Alozi gets to start again.
Yep.
Salmon's still stuck on the friggin' bench. Vigiano's still stuck on the bench. Gary's is still stuck on the bench. Price gets to start because of the red of Jacobs. Even I watched it on AT&T, even though AT&T is starting to annoy the crap out of me because they don't know how to use the right production team. Come on, man. The Astros are in the LA playing the Dodgers for a series this weekend. This game was on ESPN. So that means that AT&T Sports Southwest was available. The top production team was available to do the dash game because they didn't have to go far playing LA. So use that one. But no, we used a second rate team. And the first the screen the video was off, and then once they fixed the video, then the humming sound came back. I'm like, guys, come on! Like I'm listening to Glenn Davis and his crew. I want to listen to this. I don't want to go to Paramount. It's like I don't have a problem with Paramount, but I like my home cooking with the sound. So
Oh no,
they
yeah.
gotta do better than that, bro. Like, sorry, Glenn Davis, we love you, but I'm still gonna suffer through it. But hey, AT&T needs to do better.
No, yeah. If you have the option between AT&T and Paramount, AT&T for sure. Like Paramount is going to, uh, given they're definitely neutral, but they're just gonna homer for, usually they're usually gonna homer for the teams that are not the dash. So it's
Well, that would have been a West Coast announcer anyway, so it
yeah.
would have been more LA involved and Dash involved because like listening to the Dose go back to the Dose game, the announcer kept talking about San Jose, kept talking about San Jose, kept talking about San Jose. You're like, shut up!
No,
And
yeah.
then
Especially if the team has like a women's national team player, like they're all over it. And because we don't have any like outside of Jane Campbell, of course, that they just gotta definitely talk about them a lot.
yeah, I mean, of course, you had the American national team players, but there were 6 players for both teams that were in this game that are about to take off for World Cup play. Alozi got her butt kicked the entire game. Jesus Christ, that girl, she's given every bit of ounce of effort out there, and she's been doing a great job. Even Glenn Davis was like, oh my gosh, I'm worried about her. I'm worried about her. But lady said, hey, these are our players. These are the we're playing our season. We need to go out and win this game. So we need to play with the best roster I think we can put out there. So, basically, it doesn't matter that you're going to the World Cup. You still got a game in hand to play. If you're going to start, you're going to start. And, unfortunately, if something happens to you where you get hurt and miss the World Cup because of it, that's just the roll of the dice. But, luckily, it doesn't look like anybody got hurt. Alozi made it through. She's probably got ice bath right now. And then she'll be fine and she'll take off to her, World Cup and enjoy that time over there, please, and just have fun. Uh, Salmon coming off the bench, and what does she does? Her first ball, she takes it into the box and good opportunity. So I need to see Salmon on the field, even Glenn Davis, and I forget who it was he was with today that was announcing with him, but can we get Sanchez, Ordonez, and Salmon back on the field at the same time? Ladies tactics. I'm rambling here right now, but ladies tactics, bro. I can't stand these freaking tactics right now, and that's my only question with him. We know he's a smart coach, but maybe he needs to read his own friggin' board that he keeps pulling out every time there's a water break and just study it himself because he's got Sanchez playing so far back, and that's a disadvantage to the type of player she is. You saw her when she does get up high, she has the ball. She another nutmeg, another one. It's like just some things that just blow my mind, and I wish I could be a fly on the wall in ladies' office just so I can understand some of the things. I wish there was more transparency with the coaches explaining these are the tactics I'm running. This is why I'm running, and then let the fans go at it and have at it. You can learn from some of the fans sometimes, or if you know, I know you're listening to the show, Sam. So hear me out, brother. Give me a call. I'll talk to you for a minute. I respect you though. We're just complaining like we do.
No, yeah, especially when he pays attention to Chris, the bad guy on Twitter. But yeah,
Oh God, yeah. What was that the real one or the fake one? I think I thought I looked at it. It wasn't the real account, but whatever. I think it
oh
was
yeah,
Sam Lady 7. I don't know if that's his account or not, but whatever. So
oh yeah,
if he pays attention to Chris, then I know I can get his attention.
oh yeah. I'm mostly just joking, Chris. So he's probably listening to
Yeah.
this right now. But yeah, we love you, Chris.
No, he won't be listening to it till like 3 months into the season. New job, he can't listen to all the shows anymore, so he's way behind, is what he keeps telling me. So eventually he'll catch up, and I don't know how anybody does that. If you're behind on the pods, how you listen to the pods when the games have already passed and you're way ahead, and it makes it hard sometimes. So like I get annoyed whenever I miss somebody's pod for the week because it's already old news if we played another game. So, shout out to you though, Chris, for going back and listening to them all after the fact too.
No, yeah, no, yeah. There's definitely a lot of to talk about from last week, and a lot of movement in the standings. And you know what? I'm happy with the Dynamo now because they're still in fourth place.
They are, they are still in fourth place, bro. I
yeah,
mean, like what was it? San Jose went and lost to St. Louis for the rival watch, and then of course we did our thing against Austin, woohoo! And then Dallas was off today. I mean Saturday. Wednesday, Austin and Dallas both played each other, and of course everybody knows how that one went, where Austin just kind of beat up on Dallas, and then SKC went with a 2-2 tie at LA. So that's your little rival watch. But as far as the standings go, it didn't change for us. We stayed in fourth. With the tie with Seattle, they jumped a point on us, but they're still in third. So St. Louis with 32, LA with 32. LA has a game in hand, both tied for first. Seattle with 29, Houston with 27, San Jose with 27, Real Salt Lake with 27. Of course, we got a game in hand over both those. Dallas has fallen to seventh with 26 points, and Austin's now up in eighth with 25 points. And Vancouver with another friggin' win this weekend with 25. So that's the playoff line. Portland Timbers holding 22 and 10th. Of course, Colorado's still sitting on the bottom of the friggin' bucket list right there. And then Cincinnati, I don't think anybody's going to catch them. Uh, New England's close. Nashville having a good day. Philadelphia, they might be able to if they can get their stuff together. But that's the MLS standings, how they sitting right now, and nobody plays on Wednesday. Everybody gets a week off. Well, and so everybody gets back at it on Saturday, and we'll see what happens right there with the standings. But if we can win our game in Seattle, that jumps us to friggin' third place. Can you say that? Can't win a game on the road. We got one win on the road, one loss at home. We're potentially could be in third place. Crazy.
That's so high, man. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to jinx it.
Uh, no, the road's jinxing it right now.
Yeah,
Just think if we could make some kind of results on the road, it'd be a difference. We easily could be in first, easily, and nobody would even came close to predicting top four in the West. Where I think we were 8 and 9 was the majority of predictions for this team at the beginning of the season. So it's just crazy where we're sitting right now, how we're playing at home. Got to fix the road.
yeah,
Got to fix the road. But because I don't think we can continue to lose at home and I mean on the road and maybe we make it into playoffs just because we're so good at home and we can continue to win. But we can't trust on that. We got to do something about the road.
yeah. No, I guess it's actually a
Woo!
different story because it's a still a roller coaster.
Well, yeah, and like we keep saying every week, the standings are so friggin' close. So obviously, with this tie, we didn't move up or down. We're still what are we? We're still 3 points ahead of Louisville, who Louisville's in eighth, and they lost actually. So that probably helped us because if they would have won their game, they would have tied. They would have ended up being tied with us. But so we're still sitting in seven with 18 points. Everybody's played 13 games. Nobody's got game in hands. San Diego Wave sitting with 20 and 6. Gotham 21. Washington 23. Washington lost to Portland, so Portland jumps back to first. Although Rain with 23, North Carolina with 23, and Portland with 25. So I mean, technically, it's 7 points for us to get to first. So that's 2 games and a draw. So we got to kind of close that gap a little bit. But you don't have to finish in first to make the playoffs. You just got to finish in the top six. But it'd be nice to be in that top half of the bracket so that you get yourself another home game. Because I mean, I don't know. We got to win at home first. So it's kind of opposite for the Dash. They horrible at home but good on the road, and
Yep.
hence we are the best defensive team in the league. That's been clear, and six clean sheets for Jane Campbell. While since I said her name, let's just go and put it out there. Jane Campbell had another good game. No mental mistakes. Had some great reaction saves. They hit the post 2, maybe 3 times. If I lost count because the post was hit so many times by both teams. So Jane Campbell, good job. 6 clean sheet of the year. Uh, keep up the good work right there. And maybe you are listening to the show, and I didn't mean to get into your head, but if it's working, it's working. Thank you, girl. Love you. And then with Dose, man, Dose, this one hurts. But right now, Austin's playing Tacoma, and they're losing 1-0. So that's kind of a good news because Austin's ahead of us in the standings. And then the other one, SKC beat Frisco. Well, this time it's North Texas, Oklahoma, Toll Road Soccer. They tied 1-1, but SKC went on penalty kicks 5-4. So that's pretty much the rivalries that we have going on in Next Pro as far as being close. But when it comes to standings, this loss hurts, bro. This hurts. Colorado, like we keep saying, is running away with it. They got 35 points, but ATX they're at 31 points. So with a win tonight, if they find a way to win or come back and get a penalty kick win, they're only 4 points behind Colorado right now as it is. So they're looking good. Vancouver's third with 26. Tacoma has 26, but they're playing Austin right now. So this could I don't know who we want to win right here because Coleman's got 26, ATX has got 31. We got ATX coming up in 2 weeks. So I think we've already played Tacoma at least once. San Jose dropped down to fifth with 23 points. SKC with 23. St. Louis with 23. And here we are in eighth now. So we dropped four spots in the past week for 22 points. So it's gotta figure out this friggin' home, man. Got to. That's just nuts how we're 2-4-1 at home, 4-2-1 on the road. So they're playing like the Dash, and Dynamo have got the home figured out. Can't do nothing at home on the road, and then Dose and Dash have got it opposite. They play well on the road in front of other people's fans, and then just can't perform at home in front of our own fans where you're comfortable. But so all three teams need to freaking figure it out, bro. Like for real, like for real.
We all need to get together and figure something out because I'm like, y'all, please, can we guys just please win every game and just make all of our lives easier? Like, guys, please.
So you just requested a conference call with Kenny Bundy, Sam Lady and Ben Olsen with Noodle Time here, right?
Yeah,
We need to get into some. We'll provide the noodles. Y'all just show up to the the conference. But like we said, we go to Seattle this weekend. 9:30 game on, of course, Apple TV. We don't know if that one will be free for those that don't have Apple that pay for the subscription. Uh, Dash are at North Carolina on Saturday as well, but they play at 6:30, so that's a benefit to us. We get the 6:30 game. We'll get an hour break before we and get something to eat before we get to watch the Dynamo game, and then of course Dose plays on the road at Tacoma on friggin' Sunday night at 9 o'clock. So all three teams are on the road. I need to buy you a lock. It looks like that's two episodes in a row.
yeah, yeah. It's getting rowdy here.
A party at the Foxtrot house, or
Yeah,
what do we call it? The foxhole. The
the
foxhole.
foxhole. Yeah,
The foxhole. Yeah, but yeah, I mean that's the standings, and that's where we're at right now with the teams, and it's going to be a long week waiting for games to come back up since there are no weekday games. So we'll have to figure something out to do. We got Seattle, so I already answered my own question. We'll get us an instant ramen going on Tuesday or Wednesday with our good old friends. Oh crap, Scuttlebutt, and see if we can see how they're feeling about their season. So y'all stay tuned for that one. I'll get that into the works, and yeah, of course, Fox, I'll let you know.
no, I mean, yeah. Honestly, I'm kind of glad that like midweek games are okay for sometimes, but like not when we have like two or three midweek games in like in a row, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah, especially when it makes like podcast episodes like kind of obsolete like after like I'd say like less than a week, you know. So, but yeah,
yeah. The break is definitely needed. The break is definitely needed. So for the teams as well. But like there's no MLS this week during the week either. So there's no dose. There's no NWSL during the week. So we're just gonna have to find other things to do, I guess.
but
I'm gonna
yeah,
drink myself to drive myself crazy drinking this week. Nah.
yeah. Well, just take a nap, but
Yeah. There you go.
yeah.
There you go.
No, but yeah, guys. I think like always, thank you so much for tuning in, like into this episode and all the episodes and your continued support and obviously just getting to catch up with like a lot of people in the Austin game. Like that just felt good. And obviously the same goes for OSG. Like us catching up and not just like whenever we had like planned for episodes, but like also just getting to like be for like every Dynamo game that we can. Also, the same goes for Dash and Dynamo too. I'm happy about that. But yeah,
Yeah, and like you reminded me, give a shout out to the 93 people roughly that went into the supporter section to Austin. Granted, you could see a lot of orange kind of spread out all over the stadium, so it's hard to tell how many people were actually from with used Dynamo supporters were at that game. There was enough of them there, but like you said, it was disappointing that we weren't allowed to bring any instruments because we did last year, but you know I could have swore that because I saw the away supporters thing, but it must not have been the revised one because they said no bass was allowed, which means they were allowed up to 8 instruments. So that must have changed after the supporters meeting that happened during the middle of the week, or something different happened, or who knows. But like you said, we were yelling, we were making noise, we were singing, we were annoying the people that were next to us because, of course, I'm sure they hated being that close to the opposing team supporters. People were getting mad, and of course, we were making fun at the Austin fans that were leaving the game early. Like, bro, now, granted, I know it's 10:30, but it's a Saturday night, so there's no excuse. You're not like get your kids home and get them to bed or whatever, you know. So but they were leaving the friggin' stadium early, and it wasn't just a few. It was a good little horde that was just leaving early, and it was fun. And then, like you said, me and you meeting up, hadn't seen each other in person for a little bit, so hanging out. Of course, you said your buddy Tony was there. Said hi to Tony, met his wife, a couple other people that were there from the Surge and Albation that I'm used to seeing every day. And then, of course, we made it a little appearance on We Are Austin TV after we made it through the cops, because they were trying to. No Houston fans were allowed right there, and like this one lady cop kind of put her hand. She didn't touch me or anything. She just kind of put her hand up. She's like, "Oh yeah, no." So I was like, "Hey." Luckily, one of the Austin guys came up and said, "Yeah, he's cool. It's cool. Let us in." I'm not sure, you were already there, so I don't know if you were able to make it straight in or if they tried to block you from getting in. But we needed more security up in the stands or on the concourse, because there was a couple things that did go on, but we won't talk about those. Y'all can refer to Twitter if y'all want to be interested about that. But it'd be nice just if there was a little more security, because we had four ushers, it is what it felt like, plus Felipe and Malcolm, which isn't fair to them for them to have to babysit us when they're in the game. They should be able to watch the game and let the ushers do their job. Observe and report, and they weren't doing nothing. People were flicking us off and yelling at us as they were walking down the going to the concourse. But hey, I don't care. They could do whatever. They could yell at me all they want, but the just the obscene gestures and all that. Dude, that's just take it easy, bro. Like, it should be fun. It's a fun game. The rivalry should be fun. I look forward to going to as many games as I can. I look forward to going to away games. It's like, don't ruin it for a lot of people, and some people are just getting kind of like that. But well, it is what it is. But we had fun. Shout out to Hernan again, as always, and hanging out with you. We did that little video together, so it'll be interesting to go back and watch it again, because shit, it was 11 o'clock at friggin' night. I got back to my car about 11:30, and nope. Now I had no trouble. I don't know. We had no trouble when we walked out of the stadiums. We were by ourselves, just me and you, just walking. No Austin fans were giving us any trouble. Nobody yelling at us, or at least if they did, I didn't hear them. But so it was all good and dandy. But you know, but I think it's just some people just get a little too inebriated and want to speak. They're feeling confident, even though they forgot we just won the dang series. We beat them twice. They beat us once, so we won the season series. We're still in fourth. They're in eighth. We're still above them in the standings. So we just got to make sure it stays that way.
For sure.
Of course, they get a win and the ego goes woo, goes up high. But
No, but yeah, like it's been pretty much that, especially this weekend. But yeah, like from here they just gotta go, uh, keep aiming higher and just getting that, or at least like string those results, like the positive results again, especially on the
yeah,
road.
yeah, especially on the road. I don't expect us to go win every game on the road, but let's just make some adjustments and not be an L every time.
No, but yeah, and yeah, that's gonna be it for you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, stay noodle.
And H is up.